So I was interrupted there. It's a lawmaking machine. Mean, lean lawmaking machine. And the laws come into existence by themselves, and they cover how nature erratically and without the purpose changes. It hides the creativity of the reality. The laws become a sort of a grid, and in this grid reality can come out of each square, but not here, not in the sides, not where the grid is covering, only in the middle. This is problematic if it's applied throughout the universe, throughout history, and also taken from a limited situation like a laboratory and inferred and extended to cover the whole of reality. And exactly in this moment, according to Roberto Unger and Smolin, the problem starts. And it's a massive problem. Oddly enough, it's very similar to the problem described by Paul Feyerabend. The demise and closing of Western science. Unexpected as it is still a fact. The creativity disappears, goes out of the window, and we get stuck with the philosophical idea that the universe could be described as an extension of a limited case from a laboratory. And the second, that the laws govern the changes in the universe. Also a historical move, something that we invented, but extended to the whole of the universe, and nota bene, to the whole of history. It becomes excruciatingly difficult to understand the universe. It hides what the universe does. It hides the true reality. And very carefully and very slowly, Roberto Unger goes into the details how this is structured in our own minds, because no one has escaped in this who can think readily and make some sort of rational thinking. We are all victims to this. I read something from his colleague Smolin. He wondered in the beginning, when he had his ideas, what he was saying himself. It sounded so absurd, sacrilegious, or like nonsense to say that the universe doesn't follow laws. And I agree more and more. And I will add to the fire some wood coming from history, because we know how this idea of a law-like universe turned up long before we knew anything about the universe. And I would say that could actually make the idea of a law-like universe, the very idea is and doesn't have a decent descent. It's undecent descent. We know the idea of a law-like universe has its start in mythology, philosophy. Yes, it has been useful, but that doesn't mean it's true. Useful in a narrow shape. And of course, in the laboratory, it's absolutely just, because everything is outside of the laboratory. even the one doing the experiment at most time, not all time. That is a cut-off part of reality. And you can, like making a new game, contacting Alga and say, I want to make this game. You can make a game of a sort about that limited case, and it will give you a result. But if you expand that, all of a sudden the inventor of the game is going to be included, and if the expansion goes in time, as it does in modern cosmology and physics, it will also include the development of the idea of laws, the historicity of the ideas. Everything will be involved. And somewhere there, an itch starts in the brain, and we start wondering, could this really, really be true? And this is the marvel. And I now understand why the book is so extensive, 550 pages. The reason is it needs to be done slowly, because we need to stop our own thinking speed. This is thinking too fast, literally. This is jumping steps. And we will not see that we ourselves are jumping, making unlawful or unjustifiable jumps, skipping out on what reality really is. Yes, it is usually regular, and especially in this cooled down universe so far from its start. But it doesn't make it just to infer this state and put it to all of reality. That is taking away a grand piece of reality and making it this thin. Say, I'm going to have my thinking inside of this. And I don't even know where this is placed. It's arbitrary and random. That means horrible conclusion. I don't even know anything about what is inside a little piece of the pie I will keep. I think that's the worst conclusion, the most scary one. And it's a backdrop from this unlawful moment, is that once we expand the laboratory thing to the universe and then go the other way around, we sort of make situations from the laws made by the law machine, and then we make singular, particular, distinct cases. This is happening all the time. Unger hasn't gone into that yet, but then we are really, really way out of observation, experience, problematic. I think my personal take on the law machine is that in a very narrow, thin slice of reality and in time, this was effective model for making mass production of soap, cops, and organizing societies, administration, taxation, defense, fire, equipment against fire, rules, laws, insurances, credit, debit, roads, communication, wagons, metro, underground. But that is a very thin slice still of reality. And what now we are forced to use this for science as a whole, which is incredibly damaging. This is also a very good expansion of the ideas of Paul Feyerabend. It makes them much more vivid and valid. And no longer do you have to, even for fun, call yourself an anarchist, because in a way, logically speaking, rationally speaking, intellectually speaking, maybe is the right word, Unger and Smolin is kicking in open doors. They were never there in the beginning. So therefore you need to go into yourself to discover the self-made mistakes, although they don't emanate from yourself, but you are doing them yourself. I can't imagine any exception to that. Very interesting. I say thank you very much and have a very pleasant morning. Bye bye. Sun is coming up here.